High above one of the most hotly contested regions in the world, CNN was given a rare look Friday at the Chinese government's rapidly expanding militarization of the South China Sea from a U.S. reconnaissance plane. After boarding the US Navy P8-A Poseidon in Okinawa Friday, CNN flew over the disputed waters, a large swath of which are claimed by Beijing. The crew received 6 separate warnings from the Chinese military during the flight, telling them they were inside Chinese territory and urging them to leave. U.S. military aircraft, this is China, leave immediately and keep out to avoid any misunderstanding, a voice said. The U.S. Navy jet flew past 4 key islands in the Spratly chain where China has built up fortifications, including Subai Reef, Fiery Cross Reef, Johnston Reef, and Mischief Reef. From the window, far below, CNN was given a clear view of the airfields and radar installations on the Chinese-controlled islands which used to be harmless sandbars and shoals. It was surprising to see airports in the middle of the ocean, said Lieutenant Lauren Callan, who was leading the air combat crew aboard the Navy flight. Beijing's 9-dash line extends more than 1,000 kilometers from its southernmost province, taking in more or less the entirety of the waters, through which the United Nations estimates 1/3 of global shipping passes. The South China Sea is also believed to contain rich oil and natural gas reserves that have yet to be fully explored. Beijing's sovereignty claims are viewed by most other countries as an overreach, and a substantial proportion were ruled illegal by an international tribunal in 2016. Despite this, however, little has changed in China's approach to the region in recent years. To reinforce its claims of sovereignty, Beijing has been reclaiming land on and around reefs and shoals to construct artificial islands which are then militarized with airfields and radar equipment. China has spent much of the past 2 years fortifying these islands, including placing missiles on the Spratly Island chain during naval exercises in April. This is despite a promise made by President Xi Jinping to then U.S. President Barack Obama in 2015 that the Chinese government would not be militarizing the artificial islands. The U.S. Navy's P8-A Poseidon plane, which carried a CNN crew from Okinawa, Japan, over the South China Sea on August 10. Beijing says its growing military presence in the South China Sea is necessary to protect its sovereignty, blaming Washington and its allies for tensions in the region. Chinese military exercises in April included the largest naval parade in the country's history, with President Xi Jinping overseeing drills that included 10,000 troops, 48 naval vessels and 76 fighter jets. Beijing points to the regular U.S. Navy patrols and flyovers of the South China Sea as an example of U.S. militarization and provocations, and a justification for the increased Chinese military presence. By playing up the so-called China's militarization in the South China Sea, certain people in the U.S. are staging a farce of a thief crying "Stop thief," Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Hua Chunying said in May. It is self-evident to a keener eye that who is militarizing the South China Sea. In the past year, the U.S. has stepped up freedom of navigation operations in the region, sailing U.S. naval vessels within miles of China's artificial islands across the South China Sea. Time may be running out to effectively challenge China's claims in the South China Sea, however. MW News. Please subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.